Hi everyone, welcome back to Box Delights. Today I've got something really exciting to show you. This is Nature from Dominic Krapachet's. This is North Star Games' latest release, and it's a much anticipated kind of climax to their Evolution series. This is called the Nature game system. What I'm showing you right now, is the base game. If you went out and bought this today, this is what you'd get. I had the pleasure of working on the solo rules for this, that's why I'm showing you this today. And we will do a demonstration of the solo game. It is a modular system, so if you get the base game, you'll get everything you need to get you up and running. Okay, I have not actually unboxed this yet, so you'll see you have the Nature rulebook, teaches you how to play the game. Even if you add in each of these modules, you'll play the same game, but each module will kind of change the rules up slightly. Got a little reference guide, wonderful. This will give you a guide to the cards that are in the base game. It's the solo rules, written and designed by myself, and lots of wonderful work by Maddie to put the rule book together. Great job, Maddie, and it was wonderful working with you on this game. Here's a little booklet showing you each of the modules that will be available. Initially, I understand it's just Flight and Jurassic as of now, and then these will come later. Natural disasters, Arctic tundra, Amazon rainforest. We're actually working on climate right now, so climate is in progress. This is a promo, Elephant Graveyard, and you can see that it said on the front, promo included, first printing. So if you're buying, look out for this sticker. You'll know you're getting the promo. You don't need this, of course. It is literally a promo. We'll have a little look at that. Some player screens, right, because you're going to be scoring points, and you're going to keep your points hidden behind this little screen. Okay. There's 4 of those. Plays 1 to 4. Punch board for your different food tokens. So in the game, you'll be competing to feed as much population as you can from the various species that you can evolve during the game, and you'll evolve them using these trait cards. This is the food that you'll eat, and as each population, so you can have different populations of species in your play area, as each population is fed over 4 or 5 rounds, you will collect points for every fed population. A watering hole board where you place food that's available for you for foraging, and then a wonderful insert. Okay, so here's our cards, different traits that are available to you, and here's the solo cards. I'll give you a detailed view of these when we come to do the playthrough. These are some promos. Okay, some special art promos, beautiful, from guest artists. Hunter cards, traits. So your species can either be hunters, predators, or foragers, herbivores. Okay, and you'll decide. If there's limited food, you might find it more efficient to grow smaller populations or turn them to hunters so that they can feed, not from the watering hole, but by hunting other species. And your other species will need to defend themselves from such hunters using traits like plated, which here gives them 4 defense. There's other ways to gain food, so this one scavenges when other players hunt. Social animals can gather extra food when eating. Tusked here will eat when the watering hole becomes empty, so they'll profit from running out of food. Different traits in the game. All right, let's have a look at the others. We've got Clawed. They get +2 while eating from the watering hole, but they also have +2 attack for attacking other species if they become hunters, and +1 defense to defend themselves from the hunters. Got the Fast trait. They can only be hunted by other species with fast, so you can get faster species to run away from hunters. Horned. They actually kill a population of anyone hunting you. And then lastly, opportunistic. So if any of your species forages or hunts, they'll eat 2 meat if there's food left in the watering hole. So they like being opportunistic after when there's abundance, okay, or perhaps comboing with your other species. So you'll start with one species. If it survives around, then you'll get a new species. You'll end up with 2. If they die, then your next species will inherit their population and size. So what we'll see too is every species has a size from 1 to 4. So these are our size dials. So you've got foragers, everything starts at size 1. They can go up to size 4. And as you evolve your species and they take on the hunter traits, they become hunter. You flip them over if you wish. When you're hunting, the bigger you are, the more effective you are at hunting. All right, but you can also use your size to defend yourself from hunters. So 2 boxes of size dials for your species. We've got an insert here for the meat food, which are these punchboard tokens. 1 for the plant food, and we've got 2 trays for population. Because obviously you can spread these around the board, everyone can reach them. We've also got a wonderful wooden first player token. You pass this around. Some player aids. These remind you of the sequence of the game. It's really simple to pick up and learn. And then some iconography reference guide for one for each of the 4 players. And we also have some references to the different cards in the game, so you're aware of the different traits that come in the base game. And then we've got some more promos in the bottom here. Okay, so Avid Forager is a promo. May forage 1 additional time and cannot be larger than size 2. So maybe good for small species with a large population. There we go. So that's the nature base game. That's what you'll get in retail. Let's pack this up and I'll show you the deluxe version of the game. And just so you get an idea of the size of this box, this is Wingspan. You want to compare box sizes. There we are. Right, let's put the lid on. Okay. So by comparison, so yeah, this is quite a small box. Not going to take up too much space on your shelves, but by comparison, this is the deluxe box. All right, so quite a bit bigger. And in the deluxe box, we've got all the different modules that are currently available. So this will have Flight, Jurassic, Natural Disasters, Arctic Tundra and Amazon Rainforest, plus the base game, plus some extra deluxe components. They're not necessary to play the game, but they just bling the thing up. So we can have a little look in here too. Okay, here we go then. This is the deluxe box. Let's have a look inside. Okay, inside we do have a guide to how to pack everything back up again. This is so beautiful. The whole thing, I mean, look at the box, look at the layout, it's so wonderful. What a beautiful looking thing. Well done, team. And then with Deluxe, we're going to have your core rulebook, your core solo rulebook and reference guide. Again, it's the same as what we saw in the base game. Okay, so you get everything in the base game. But you also get 5 books, 1 for each module. So we've got rulebook for Tundra, Flight, Jurassic, Rainforest and Natural Disasters. Okay. Each one of these modules is going to add either a bunch of new traits, maybe a new biome, so instead of the watering hole, different types of food that you can forage for. And Natural Disasters adds a set of disaster cards. So this is the only module that doesn't come with new traits. Okay. But just to give you an idea about, tells you how to introduce the module into your game. It has rules, so for Natural Disaster, just 1 page. Solo rules, I mean, it's that little bit there, so a little bit of extra rules. And then you've got a guide to the cards in the back and FAQs. So each module doesn't extend things massively in terms of rules. Okay, so again, here's Jurassic. So we've got some components set up, one page of rules. Here's your solo rules. Okay, one page tells you how to build. A lot of this, in each module, you'll find the solo rules are actually repeated. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so this table, how to set up and prep. But in terms of additional rules for flight, here you go, solo rules. Pretty straightforward, right? There's just a couple of lines in there. So adding modules is not complex. Alright, we've got a sticker sheet. Alright, so this is going to be for stickering up our trays. So if you wanted to, you can put stickers on each box to say which components are in each box. I don't know if you can make this out. Maybe if I change the lighting, but you can see this is kind of embossed. Nice, huh? Alright, let's have a look inside. Alright, so this is your base game. So the same content as we saw. We've got some promos here. Here's your hunter cards. This is all your solo stuff, actually. I'll come back to that. Right, here's your base game solo stuff, and then 5 stacks, one for each module. Right, so we'll come back to those because I'm going to show you them when we do the playthrough. Here's your base game traits, and then we've got some wooden meeples. These ones look like dinos. These are just used to tag which of your species are hunters. So there's no mechanism associated with them, it's purely cosmetic. Pretty neat, huh? Okay. Right, let's have a look inside the second box. Okay, and here we have the natural disasters cards. I'm going to get these open so you can see them properly. So each one of these, in the natural disasters module, they just add a little rule change every round. Okay. Typically it's something that hurts everybody, and you're just going to have to evolve or adapt. Adapt or die, I think is the correct phrase. Right, so we've got meteor showers, for example, radioactive meteor shower. Every time you forage or hunt, one population is killed, so you're going to have to just, adapt to compensate for these type of natural disasters. Here's another promo. This is natural disasters promo. We've got player aids for different modules. That's the base game one, which we saw. So extra player aids for each module, one for each player, and they'll just give you a brief summary of what you saw in the rule book, plus any new icons you're going to encounter. One of the things about these modules is, in particular, is this icon at the bottom here, are traits that make you turn hunter. Typically in around, everyone knows when a species goes hunter because you have to take a hunter card and declare it, and it's not hidden. But with these hidden hunter traits, you take them face down, so it's not until everyone's finished adapting that you suddenly reveal that you've become a hunter, or that species has become a hunter. You'll see that quite a bit in Jurassic, in rainforest. Okay. We've got some nests here. These are used by the flight module. When one of your species becomes a flying species, you put a nest underneath it, underneath its size dial. Actually, let's grab those. Like this. That shows it's a flying forager or a flying hunter. Flying means it can migrate. which means they can escape conflict and also can only be hunted by other species that have flying. Jurassic module, these give you different size dials. So typically in base game your size is 1 to 4, but if you're using Jurassic, these are all doubled, so you'll have, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 2, 4, 6, 8. In fact, it goes all the way up to 10 compared to these. So you can grow much larger when you're using Jurassic, these big old dinosaurs. Right, so Jurassic module comes with, I've just shown you, these extra size dials. These are the base game ones. So again, everything's in here. The only thing that's not in the Deluxe that you'll have in the base game was those player screens. They've been removed in the Deluxe version, and you'll see why. You'll see why, because I've just revealed them now. Instead of player screens, you have these little cloth bags. Right, so all your point tokens that you would hide behind a player screen, you can choose one of these bags instead. There's different designs, just for your preference. Nice, huh? Okay, that's in. Oh yeah, you'll see this as well. This is a round tracker. So in the base game you don't get the round tracker, but you do in the Deluxe version. But you can always use a spare size dial if in your base game if you wish to record tracks. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, same as a round tracker. Okay. You pay 4 rounds normally. If you're using a module, doesn't matter how many modules you'll add, 1 or more. So when you take the base game, you can add 1 or more modules. You can mix them up. Some combinations don't work, so different combinations, like Amazon Rainforest comes with its own biome, for example, and so does Tundra, so you can't play Amazon Rainforest and Tundra together. Okay, so those combinations don't mix, but other combinations do mix. But if you're playing with 1 or more modules, you go to 5 rounds instead of 4. Okay. I'll look at the back of these. There's your Rainforest one. Very neat, aren't they? Base game and then Tundra. Right. Different biomes. These are literally just where you place the food tokens. Right. In the centre of the game board, gives you kind of a focal point for the game. You kind of play your species around the outside, if you like, in your little player area. Right, let's have a look. Okay, let's have a look in this final tray. What's in here? Alright, so here's our different traits. We've got some more predator meeples. Use these to tag your predators. There's more of these. What you'll note is with the Deluxe box, you can actually play 1 to 6. So there's components enough for up to 6 players. With all the extra modules and promo cards and extra cards, extra components. There's enough components in this Deluxe box to play up to 6 players. Your Jurassic traits. Every module has its own little promo, all included. Jurassic. This is flight, camouflage, flocking, good eyesight, nesting, seed dispersal. Here's your promo, which is a brood parasite, like a cuckoo. Okay, here's Amazon. That's the promo, frugivorous. Or fruit eaters. So Amazon adds bananas, which is a new source of food. If you have climbing, once per turn all species can forage for bananas, for fruits. Fertile, omnivorous. So this will automatically make your species a hunter. So this is one of these hidden hunter traits. When you reveal it, it turns your species from forager to hunter, and you can forage instead of hunt. So normally if you're a hunter you can't forage, and if you're a forager you can't hunt, but if you're omnivorous you can do both. poisonous. You've got some poison tokens. You can poison anyone who hunts you. Powerful Jaws, another hidden hunter one with +3 to its ability to hunt. Some capybaras in the background here, look. The jaguar. What else do we have? We have Tundra. So here's your promo, white fur. Cannot be hunted if the watering hole is empty. So yeah, if they're foraging around the watering hole, they're vulnerable. If the watering hole is empty, they cannot be hunted. And it also affords them some protection, not just from hunters, but also from the cold. So in Tundra, there's a new mechanism where the environment is colder. You need cold protection, and white fur affords you cold protection. And if you don't have enough cold protection, then you're losing population to the cold. So you'll see you've got traits like fat tissue, which give you cold protection, hibernating, which gives you cold protection. It allows you to treat two population as if they're not hungry as well, so they won't die from starvation. Migratory grazing, you can forage from the supply. Migratory predators, so another hidden hunter. When a migratory grazer forages from the supply, a migratory predator eats one meat. So that's anybody, yours or another. Right, so think about how you can use this kind of symbiotically with other species. Underground den. Can only be hunted when it has hungry population. So this means if they're fully fed, they're hidden. They can go underground. But if there's a hungry population, they're going to be out searching for food. They're going to become vulnerable. So each of these traits you'll find has a lovely thematic story behind them. Only limited by your imagination, really. Okay, so there's all the module traits. We've got different containers for your tokens. You'll notice there's no punch board. They've already been pre-punched in this deluxe version. And we've got upgraded meat tokens here instead of punch board. We've got these wooden ones. Okay. Elephant Graveyard promo, that's in here as well. It goes on here like this. This is your flight board. This is where migrating species can run off to. Here's some dice. This is the Thagomizer die. This is for Jurassic. This one is your cold. This is for Tundra. Here we've got your watering hole food, your plant food, if you like, upgraded. Some tens instead of singles on your different types of food, meat and plants. More plants. Tons of stuff. So enough for 6 players. Got a spare container here. Should we need it? We might need it in future. We're currently working on the climate module. I'm working on the solar rules for this. Right, here's your poison markers from Amazon. Here's some meteor tokens. This is for natural disasters. Some disasters stick around for more than one turn, so these act like a little timer that ticks it down. And then this should be your bananas. So I can put the escape bananas back in there. Alright, so that's your Amazon rainforest module. The climbing species can go and forage for bananas from high up in the treetops, so an alternative to the watering hole. Alright, and that's your lot. And what I'm going to do is set up and play a solo game. The only question I have is, which modules should I play? Which modules are you most excited to see? Remember, you can use them in different combinations. What would you choose if you were playing nature? It's a beautiful game, and I'm really looking forward to showing you how the solo game plays.